Makeup Revort, and this is Kitchen Table Productions. Today's my anniversary, so I'm going to make my husband one of my family's classic favorites, chicken Oporto. Now this has a few more calories than most your average everyday dinner, so I would recommend it for special occasions only. And you'll see it's got a great cream reduction sauce and port wine and yummy yummy mushrooms. My husband isn't a big fan of mushrooms, but I can take care of that for him. So let's get started.
Okay, this is a large skillet to which I have added a half a cup of butter and gotten it melted. I'm using these large mushrooms today. My husband doesn't like them, and if they're large, I can pick them out for him easier. There we go. Just mix these around, get them nice and coated with the butter. This is one dish that's definitely not for the fat phobic. However, we're low carbers. Fat is our friend. Well, within reason anyway. Let me just give these a few good turns. I want to get everything nice and well coated. Okay, next I'm going to prepare the dredging flour for the chicken, and this recipe calls for a 1/4 cup of flour. Now, I know what you're thinking, Jess, 1/4 cup of flour, that's not low carb, but not all of it's going to go into this recipe, so don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. Okay, I'm getting my flour. Let's just move this out of the way. There you go, you can see that. This is a 1/4 cup, like I said before. Now to this I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of salt, several grinds of black pepper. This is going to be about 1/4 teaspoon. And this is a nutmeg grinder. You probably haven't seen too many of these. It was made in the 70s, and I'm going to give a few quick grinds. Again, there we go. About 1/4 teaspoon. Let me give these a quick mix. And now I'll mix up the flour, get all that stuff nice and mixed in together. There we go. There, that's pretty well mixed up. I'll just put this to the side until we're ready for it. And here's our mushrooms again. Time for a quick time warp. Okay, it's been roughly 5 minutes, and I'm pulling these mushrooms out so I can make room for our chicken. Don't they look wonderful? I could wish a little more brown on them, but unfortunately this pan doesn't get as hot as I would like. I have that cranked all the way up. I like using this pan though, because cleanup is a breeze. Just a few more here. One's hiding in the corners. There we go. Gotcha. Haha. Now I'll pull out my flour and my chicken. Get that out of the way. There's the flour. And here's my chicken. Now you see these are nice thin sliced breasts. Full breast. And I'm just going to dip it quickly. Get it coated all over. And then shake it off with the flour. See? There's not much flour in there at all. Of course, if you want to reduce your carbs even more, you could probably leave out the flour altogether. Just put salt, pepper, and nutmeg on all your chicken pieces. I like the flour because when it browns up, it gives a nice little crispiness that is often missing from low carb. And if you can get it just for a little bit of carbs, then you're doing good. Last piece. This is a recipe for 4 people. There we go. There. Now I'll just let them cook. As you can see, most of the flour is still in this pan. It's not in the chicken, not in the recipe. There we go. And now I need to go, before I do anything else, and wash this chicken off my hands. Be right back. Okay, we've had another time warp, and as you can see, the chicken is finished browning. See the nice color in there and all the nice brown bits in the bottom. I love that. We're going to add now the port wine. I'm going to add about 1/3 of a cup of this. I'm just going to eyeball it because I'm used to doing that. You can feel free to measure it if you'd like. I'm just going to pour this all over. Port has some carbs as well, so you don't want to use too much of it. And 1.5 cups of heavy cream. I said this wasn't low calorie, and boy did I mean it. Look at that. Oh, doesn't that look good? This smells just wonderful. Now I'm going to add the mushrooms back in. I want to get them distributed kind of evenly around in the cream, so I'm not just dumping them in. There we go. Right now the pan is still on high heat from having browned the chicken. And I'm going to leave it there until it comes back up to a boil. There we go, a few more. All that yummy mushroom juice in there. Oh, there we go. You can see over here, it's kind of starting to boil right there. And pretty soon, when it's boiling all over, there's a few more bubbles. Doesn't take long. See how it's starting to bubble in through here now too? That's starting to look good. I'm going to cut this heat down and put a lid on it. And I'm going to let it simmer for about 15 minutes. Time for another time warp. Alright, now my 15 minutes are up. I'm removing my chicken and my mushrooms. Alright. Because what I want to do here is boil down the cream until it makes a nice thick sauce to go over the top of this chicken. I don't want to boil it too long because it will separate. You can see these bubbles here? Yeah, that's about the consistency you want, but you want it all over. So you'll have to keep stirring this until it gets a nice all over consistency. I'll do a quick time warp for you here. There we go. Isn't that nice? Nice and thick. Much more than this, it's going to start to separate. So this is about where you want it. I'm going to take the chicken and mushrooms and put it back in and toss everything around and coat it all nice with the sauce. This is just a wonderful, wonderful recipe. You don't see this very often, this flavor combination with the port and the nutmeg, but it's just amazing. My husband doesn't like mushrooms, so I'm going to pull these off. It's not the flavor he objects to, it's the consistency. He doesn't like many vegetables. Green beans are about the only ones he will eat. That and broccoli. I don't get rice for mine because, of course, I'm low carb, so I will make mine on a bed of these mushrooms. His loss is my gain. There we go. A few more of these. And a piece of chicken. And there I have it. I've made 2 meals, 1 low carb, 1 regular, with no extra effort. Turn this off. There we go. We're going to enjoy this.
And there you have it, chicken Oporto. I hope you like it. Please come again.